Unfortunate news today from Sportskeeda Wrestling. I am Kev Kellum. We reported on this earlier on our website, and it is a developing story that was originally broken just about an hour and a half ago by TMZ.com. WWE superstar Jimmy Uso has been arrested on a DUI charge. This came down last night in Pensacola, Florida, around 10:35 p.m. This is not Jimmy Uso's first arrest for a driving under the influence charge. On July 5th, the WWE SmackDown superstar was arrested for driving under the influence in the state of Florida. The blood alcohol concentration legal count is 0.08. He tested a 0.205 and a 0.202, well above the legal limit. Uso was arrested for a DUI in Florida in 2019, but was not found guilty by a jury. In a separate legal incident, he was in a confrontation with police officers in Detroit, Michigan that year as well. There has been some reported backstage reaction to this within WWE. Obviously, a lot of fans reacting to this news as it is coming in, and not good news when you consider that Jimmy Uso is a prominent figure currently in WWE. He's been featured in a significant role on WWE's most watched television program weekly, SmackDown, on the Fox network, where he's been playing a supporting role to WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, his real-life cousin. He was featured in the main event, one of the main event angles on this past week's show, and a big supporting character since he's been back in the mix with WWE for the past few months. His brother, Jey Uso, is kind of slid out of being that secondary role to Roman Reigns. So this is a really, really prominent character for this to happen to. Obviously, it is also more concerning when you consider that this is not the first time that something like this has happened, or at least a situation like this has not happened for him. And also consider the safety risks of himself and anyone else involved around this. Thankfully, no one was injured in this incident, and there is some safety you can say when you walk away from it, but the risk is there. So we look at, and now the reported backstage reaction to it. This is purely initial. I know people will run with this in every different direction on stories like this, but we want to be fair and balanced about this when we report this, and have people not criticize someone about this situation, because it is a real situation with real consequences to it here. We now go to a tweet here from WrestleVotes. Now, WrestleVotes is a source that has broken things backstage and has been quite validating in the things they've broken, and they've added up here. They state here, I've spoken to two sources this morning on the Jimmy Uso news. I can say that with certainty that a few high-level people in power are extremely disappointed and legitimately pissed off over the arrest. This many times isn't a mistake or bad luck. It's personal judgment, not good. So certainly a concerning situation when you consider this here. It is sad. It is sad to report. It is sad to consider the consequences of this and where this could go for Jimmy in his life and his career. I'm just resolved to the fact that he is safe in this circumstance and no one else was injured. I think it's the main thing. You can talk about these things and judge people, and I know plenty of people watching this will. But I am hopeful that whatever recourse comes from this, that a healthy rebound can be found from this, from everyone involved. And it is certainly something where you already have people asking questions like this. I don't mind bringing them up here while I'm talking with. Let me pull this here off the screen. Raju is texting me here from the Sportskeeda news desk. He's covering this story, and it is a developing one. He's seeing a lot of fan reactions to this. I know, Raju, you were sharing some comments with me earlier today about this. Kevin, do you think WWE should use this incident in a storyline? It'll be interesting to see how WWE responds to this. I don't know how WWE will respond. I haven't heard or seen a response to the story just yet from them in terms of if there's any punishment, if there's any legal recourse that they will take. The previous time this happened, some people were alarmed about how quickly the Usos were back on television, let alone winning SmackDown Tag Team Championships in that situation. But it's worth noting in that situation, he was charged, but then was cleared by a jury. So I mean, it's worth noting in that. So it's a very fluid situation, to say the least, in this circumstance. It doesn't look good. I think it's fair to say that it doesn't look good here. So if you're just joining us a little bit late, Jimmy Uso, according to TMZ.com, who reported this, and they base this off police reports, from Pensacola, Florida, was arrested on a charge of a DUI last night around 10:35, driving through a red light at 50 miles per hour in a 35-mile speed zone. His blood alcohol content was about 205, with the legal limit being 0.8. So this is not good for him. Second time he's been charged with this. As I noted, he was found not guilty on the first time, but this is not his first legal incident within the last few years. And it'll be interesting to see how this affects the storyline of the most prominent wrestling television show right now, where he is playing a critical role. WWE's been in these situations. Other wrestling promotions have been in these situations. Injuries like this occur. It is worth noting that there is some convenience in terms of what WWE presented on television on Friday, with Edge chasing Roman Reigns in the WWE Universal Championship, and Jimmy coming out there to defend the family name, only to be, beaten almost mercilessly by Edge here, and Roman Reigns not coming to his aid. Now, that convenience lends itself that if Jimmy, due to this legal situation and due to any punitive action that WWE wishes to take, can't be on television, can't perform that role, well, this beatdown does give you an out. It does give you an out here. But it certainly doesn't look good. And this isn't the way that I think WWE will have the company represented in a public space. I don't speak for anyone there. I haven't been able to get any word back from anyone I know that works around WWE at the time. But certainly it's disappointing to hear if this does play out that way. And I know some people are chiming in here about what they think here. Everybody's saying, is this the last straw for them? It's hard to say. I hate to make those judgments, because I think there's simply so much more information that other people need to know. You can be disappointed, but I do think you have to recognize people's humanity. I'm not giving anyone a break here, but saying, oh, this needs to happen to this person, this, and this has to happen. And, and then you get lame jokes like this. Terry, sorry, this is a lame one. I'm going to point it out here. Terry Tomlin says, Vince needs maybe keep him off TV, drop the storyline, or send him to 205 Live. Usos put off TV before there were issues like this. You don't know if there's going to be issues like this. It's very, very hard to say whether or not there's going to be issues like this. I don't know how you can do anything that's preventive to know if someone's going to make an issue like this. Terry, I know people are going to make comments like that and they're going to be reactionary. And it's completely fine. People are going to react the way they want to react. But the way I think I choose to react is to recognize some humanity and recognize that someone is safe here. So I think that's worth noting here. And this is something, just talking about DUIs is a dangerous thing here. John Castello saying there are around 2,800 DUI arrests daily in the United States. If their job doesn't include driving, rarely do any of them lose their jobs. Why is everyone wanting him to lose his job over this ish? Thank you for saying ish, John, because then, a naughty word doesn't appear on our video screen. It's worth noting, I don't know if he'll lose his job over this. And within the parameters of what the WWE wellness policy is, it may not, who knows what the punitive matter of this, considering the first time he was charged with something like this, he was absolved of guilt. So it's interesting. This is not the first legal issue he's had. That it certainly isn't a good look. I don't know how you can consider this even remotely a look. And then you have other people saying just release him. I don't think it's that easy. I really, really don't think it's that easy. And I don't. And if you took that course of just releasing somebody on a snap judgment over something like this, that wouldn't be ideal. And WWE's made reactionary releases. They did this with Emma a few years ago, and they thought there was some legal issue, or there was some shoplifting, and within a day they found out that there was really nothing to it. And yeah, you're back in the company. Don't worry about it. And then you have, some people just disappointed, sad. I agree. It is a disappointing story to see. And like I said, I'm just thankful no one is hurt in this situation, including Jimmy, and that he is okay. So it is certainly an interesting case here. And then other people are going to be comparative and say, oh, look at the situation with Jeff Hardy. He didn't lose his job. And look how many times, he had issues like this. So I get it. Everyone's going to be like this. And then how long did it take? Make it a storyline. Work it into reality. Give me the juice. Make it a real thing. I don't know, man. Not everything needs to be a storyline. Not everything needs to be a storyline. But they've been able to bring up stuff like this in the past and make it work as a storyline, and it works, and sometimes it doesn't. So let me know what you think in the comments below if you're watching on demand, and you can follow our channel for more updates. We will have more on the story as it develops, and of course, we'll have more at sportskeeda.com from sources around the wrestling world. Other people chiming in here. WWE will try and get him help to a big figure to lose to AEW. He needs to get help, Jimmy. This is someone's life. Yes, this is someone's life. I don't know about AEW, how AEW plays into this at all. It'll be interesting to see where this goes. And there's the only relief I have in this is no one is hurt. That's it. I think that's just something that the thing that everyone's kind of glazing over about how dangerous a situation like this can be. So please let us know what you think in the comments below. We will have more updates. We will do as we normally do every weekday, right around 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. We will have our top story of the day. We will once again recap this story and give you the latest updates on it as they develop. Until then, we also have fresh content up leading up to tonight's NXT Great American Bash. We have a 2-part interview up with Tommaso Ciampa talking about his run in NXT, his pursuit of the NXT tag team titles, and superstars on both Raw and SmackDown that he believes he can beat, including the WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Those 2-part interview videos are up now on our YouTube channel. Go get them only on our YouTube channel right now. All right. So once again, if you're just following the story, Jimmy Uso has unfortunately been arrested on a DUI charge. If you're just joining us, please get in the comments below. Let us know what you think. Follow the story as it develops at sportskeeda.com. And remember, when watching wrestling, enjoy wrestling.